should be Eubert's minute. So, Dr. Eubert, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I've been getting lots of questions, and I've just told them to wait, and they can ask you. So, probably introduce yourself as
Questions
well as
regarding what?
take it up.
Questions regarding what exactly?
Salaries,
Yeah.
mostly NGOs. So, I told them to reserve them for you. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
for those who don't me, my name is Dr. Eubert Espira. I don't know what should I say. There's a lot of things to say. I don't know. Well, apart from
Mm-hmm.
medicine, have a master's degree in public health, a master's degree in pharmacogenomics, and a PhD in tropical medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Several certificates and quite a number of other things to be done in this world. Works with quite a number of multi-donor institutions, the UN agencies, the World Bank, GFID, the British High Commission, USAID, quite a number of African governments from east, west to south. Yeah, so currently I'm based in Senegal, in Dakar, but with multiple visits to overseeing quite around 7 countries within the region. So there was one of the key things I think we had that is it a day or two ago, and the question that came up was salary negotiation and benefits. I think that's basically what we're gonna look at, try and understand its importance, why the need for you to be able to look at salary benefits, like to look at the salary, negotiate for your salary, why to mirror the salary vis-a-vis the benefits that you're getting also, because also they calculate your overall niche, and also why are you negotiating for that salary, because it's also another concept that most of us don't know exactly how to bring it across. So started off, we just ask ourselves an introduction is what is salary negotiation, because basically it's one of those crucial steps that we look at aspects of the job when you're searching for a job, like job search process, where you have to been given the opportunity to discuss and potentially increase your compensation package. You know, you have that opportunity to be able to put across. So it's that process. And also salary negotiation and benefits just ensures that when you are looking for that position, it is fairly compensated for your skills, your experience, and contributions that you're going to provide for that institutions that will lead to your satisfaction, yeah, both job satisfaction and financial stability. And when you get those two things, you end up also being very productive at your workplace. So you become very, very productive because you love what you're doing and you're satisfied. So, in overview, we're gonna discuss some of the key understanding. Like, we'll discuss on understanding your worth. What is your worth? Like, what's your value? The tips on negotiating your salary and benefits, and the best practices for successful negotiation. Do you understand your worthiness when you're going for that interview? Do you understand why that institution, why Bank of Africa needs you? Do you understand why county government needs you? Do you understand why the UN needs you? Do you understand why that hotel needs you? What's your worth? You know, understanding your worth is, first of all, starts by you have to do research what is the market salaries for your position, because you have to understand your worth. If I'm going for the front office position as a front officer, I need to research what is the salary for this position within the job market in Kenya. And basically, I'll use the front office because basically it will range depending on the institution, your education, your experience, your skills. And it will range between 30,000 to 70,000. That one, it depends because what is the institution? How is your experience? That institution also, that institution, that which sector does that institution deal with? Is it agriculture? Is it health? Is it governance? Is it mental health? Is it gender? Like, it depends with the various diverse facets. You have to conduct a thorough research to understand the average salary range for your position in your industry and the location. Don't expect you'll be paid the same salary you are in Nairobi and someone else who is in Kisumu, Kakamega, Bungoma, Nyeri, Kirinyaga, Meru. You won't be paid the same. Even if you go to the UN, we call it daily subsistence rates, you will even find that in Nairobi the daily subsistence rate is very high because it's an expensive place compared to the daily subsistence rate someone will be given in Kakamega town, whereby the best hotel is maybe 7,000. You know, so you also need to do that proper research, and by doing so, you get to understand. Secondly, by understanding your worth, you need to assess your skills. Which skills am I bringing on board? What is my experience? And what is my qualification? After you have assessed those things, can you evaluate yourself and ask yourself, which unique skills do I bring in that even if I'm seated within the same interview, I am with Anjao, I am with Regan, I am with the therapist, I am with Okalo, I will ask myself, what added advantage do I have over the other person? Because you always have to think out of the box. You need to ask myself, okay, they need a certificate holder who has done with front office. They're saying they need at least 1 year or 2 years experience. Then you start ticking the box. I have 3 years experience. Yes, I have a certificate, but I've already done a diploma in that same area. Like, check yourself. What other added, you know, what other skills that you have? There might be soft skills, things you have done maybe even in your high school, things that you have done in your high school and you still practice in your house with your friends, in your or in those social kind of setups. Those are some of those skills, are soft skills that not everyone have. Qualifications that make you valuable to potential employees. What are those qualifications that are making you valuable? That you package yourself and know what, I am here. So look at yourself in that area. How? You know? Lastly, within understanding your worth, know your value to the organization. You need to know your value to and by knowing your value, it means you have researched the organization, you know its goals, you know its mission, like literally you know everything about that organization. And you can be able to say, my value to this organization is A, B, C, D. Understand how your skills and contributions align with the organization goals, objectives to demonstrate your value during negotiations. Even when you're asked for that interview, you've been told to go for that interview, you can send them an email and request, I would like to see your strategic plan. Kindly send me a request for your strategic plan. Just have a look at it and see where do you fit in within that strategic plan for that institution? Because interviews are all about, apart from the overall contribution, our overall academic qualification, overall experience, what is your value addition? What is it that you can do out of the box? But by you being able to look at the overall package of the institution, you are in a position to say, I can do A, B, C, D within and above. Now, when it comes to now the negotiating for your salary, for an effective salary negotiation, kindly come prepared with specific examples of your accomplishments and contributions. Tangible accomplishments. If I was doing promotions, after doing those promotions in a certain supermarket, what were my sales in that supermarket? You need to come with those figures. I was in this supermarket and the sales from that supermarket increased to this, and that. And because you know exactly that's your increase in that sales in that supermarket, you have a referral person within that supermarket, or the people who gave you the job to come and do the sales in that supermarket. That's your referral. That person will clearly recommend and say, yes, she did it. Because you have the figures and you have everything. Use data and market research to support your salary expectations. The power of data, and that's what I keep on saying, telling everyone, data is so powerful. Use data to be able to negotiate for your salary. Because my expectation is what? Why do I need, you know? Someone will ask you, why do you need 100,000 shillings? I'll say, because I live in Kasarani. And living in Kasarani, the housing has gone up. My house is this much. Transport from Kasarani every month from the house to workplace is this much. Utility bills in the house comes to this much roughly. The food in the house comes roughly to this house this much. You know, my savings will be this much in that. So someone will be like, oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And you remember, you're not exaggerating. You're using substantive information. You know, so having that supporting information on why you need this much, it enables you to be in a position to sit in the on an advantage point whereby every question they ask you, you have an answer to it. Practice active listening and maintaining a professional demeanor throughout the negotiation process. When they are talking, and that's why I always tell everyone, always when you're going for interviews, kindly walk with a notebook. Walk with a notebook. Walk with something whereby you can be able to write things while they're talking, while they're discussing. You don't miss out on the key things that maybe you love to ask further questions, clarifications on. Be a very active listener. Active listener, you are participating in the process. You have noted things down, you seek clarification, you ask. And you can even use the same information to negotiate, because they might say something and then you'll be like, yes, because of this and that, I expect I will exceed my expectation for me, because I'll be able to achieve it in this and that. You know, that way you know everything that is already being put in place. How do you highlight your achievements and contributions? Always ensure you emphasize your achievements and the value you bring to the organization to justify your salary expectation. What are these achievements? I worked with Nyawira. I was able to develop a HR strategy policy. I worked with Nyawira. I was able to develop a work environment uh, program or policy a framework that enables each and everyone have a very conducive work environment. Within that, we saw an increase in staff satisfaction, job satisfaction, and due to that, there was increased productivity. This increased productivity was measured in terms of, if it's a private company that is dealing in business, sales will go up. There'll be an increase in referral. There'll be so many people traffic on your websites or your social media platforms. So those are some of the key things that you end up justifying your expectation. What is your other value addition? Maybe you're good at problem solving. You're good at leadership. You're good at bringing people, because in any office setup, you'll find multicultural diversity, different religions, people from different backgrounds. There's that it's a market. I always say a job place is a market of everything. People come with different characters, people come with different, you might be possessing those skills and you can be able to say, I've managed a team of 20, 40 people from coming from different diverse background. When there are conflicts, you isolate the person has reported the grievance, listen to the person, listen to the other parties, and bring the two parties together and find a common ground where you can now be able to talk to each other and find a solution. Those are your strengths and your skills that you can be able to use to negotiate for your salary and be able to have a very high expectation. Communicate your expectations clearly and professionally. When you are asked, what is your salary expectation? I will say my salary expectation is between 280,000 to 300,000. Don't also give a very, very wide range. No. Always try as much as you can to close that gap. The range should not be very wide, that you're giving them a very big playing field. You say between 30 to 50,000, 50 to 70,000, 60 to 80,000. Like you ensure that gap is not too wide. And clear articulation of salary expectations and be open to discuss potential compromises or alternatives. Are there things you will compromise? Yes, you're desperate, you want the job. You really know where I'm coming from. Yes, I was earning 20,000. These ones are offering me 35,000. It's an increase from what I was earning before. Do not show that glitter in your face, because clearly you can see, maybe you're going there, your expectation was to get 30K, but then they're saying 35. Don't just say yes, because that 35 already you have seen, it's their comfort. That 35 is already their comfort. You can ask, I would appreciate if you can make it 45 because of A, B, C, D. You know? So with that, you find maybe they'll tell you, okay, we can't do it 45, but we'll do it 40. Who has gained? So you have gained.
Yeah.
So with that one, you find that you can be able to, even if they add you, because normally you'll see, based on what you gave them, maybe a range of 60 to 80,000. Your previous job, maybe you're earning 40 or 30, and then they come up with a counter offer. They can say is 50,000. Okay. I will appreciate if you can give me 60,000. Why? I have vast experience in monitoring and evaluation and data systems. I have been working in data systems with the World Bank, implementing the program with across the 16 counties in Kenya. I've piloted this data systems. I've trained over 1,000 county staff on how to utilize, collect data, collect the data, validate the data, verify the data, clean the data, upload the data, and be able to analyze that data across the 16 counties. I've built the capacity of the county monitoring and evaluation system units to be able to use the same data for evidence decision making of the county. And this one can be highlighted by the growth of revenue generation. From you now put the examples of the counties that you have seen because of the work that you have done. There's increase in revenue generation. Through setting up the monitoring and evaluation system, we have seen an increase in households that have been connected to safe drinking water. Maybe that time they were doing 20 households. You use the numbers. I've seen 600 households that have been added onto the grid of metered water and safe and drinking water. You know, so you by being able to use those examples, you find that you have an upper advantage because they're seeing, and then you if you'll notice your interviewers are they're listening and they're acknowledging you. You'll see what some of them, and always have that eye contact. Don't shy to look at them on the eye. Always have that eye contact with them, because your body posture, your body communication, your body language will always also tell. You need to be composed in yourself, and you need to trust yourself. What you are putting across is worth your time, it's worth of who you are. From that point, you realize now you have already opened, you have had that open discussion. Then we look at now how do we negotiate these benefits? Because now we have negotiated for our salaries. Apart from the salary, what are the benefits? And some of the common benefits that we get from most of these from employment, that basically we'll be looking at a good number of examples. I think because most of them they come from health insurance, retirement contribution or allowances, and some of these benefits impact the overall compensation package, which is added to your salary. So you realize quite a number of those things also come in. Health insurance, discuss the coverage options. Because you're asking them questions because now you've already been offered the letter. So discuss those the coverage options. Are they premiums and additional benefits such as dental vision? Because if you are the dental, everyone will have dental problem, like going to see a dentist at one point or another. If you're using specs, you would want to be your opticals to be added on the health cover. So you have to discuss those coverage options. What are their, retirement benefits, the pensions. When is the pension starting immediately? Is the pension starting after the probation period? How long is the probation period? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? Explore the employer sponsored retirement plans. You know? And those contributions, how much is the employer contributing there? Is it 50-50? You know? So those benefits need to be clearly looked into. How many days do you have as leave days? What are your annual leave days? What are your sick leave days? The sick leave days. Because the sick leave days are supposed to be 60. The minimum is 60 leave days. We find, because I've seen it, which cuts across, because with my research, it cuts across all even government facilities. Yeah. Then you look at quite a number of other things, like, for example, what happens if you are sick beyond the 60 days? What happens? Yes, you can't come to work and you're still productive. Can you still work from your home? You discuss those things in a very amicable manner because you have to explore so that you don't come to work and you're still feeling like, yo, you know what? I didn't get the best deal. Okay? The vacation time and paid time off. Because remember, when you go on leave, is it paid leave? Is it paid leave? The matters you always need an interview because the CV is just a paper written, someone can lie on the paper. I need to hear from you how you are, who you are, what you can do. Express yourself. Because if I've said I need someone who can be able to communicate very well verbally, written communication and verbal communication. The verbal communication comes in when we engage on one-on-one. Are you fluent in English? Are you fluent in Swahili? Which other language are you fluent in? The importance of considering benefits alongside salary. Benefits will always significantly impact your overall compensation package.
Yeah.
You can imagine how I'm getting house allowance, I'm getting transport allowance, I'm getting internet allowance. How is that one impacting my salary? It puts your salary high. Okay? So those are some of the things you need to negotiate, you need to discuss on because they will always be considered alongside your salary. And when negotiating, it's very, 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 very important to be able to do that. Okay? The second last thing when it comes to salary and benefits negotiation, you need to have best practice. What are these best practices for successful negotiation? Build your rapport with the employer. You see, when you are having those discussions on salary, someone will send you the offer letter, read it. Don't just be quick to get the offer letter, sign, and transmit it back. You know, read through it. If you feel like there's things you don't understand, and you have a friend who has been in employment for a number of years than you, ask the person kindly, can you have a look at this? What are some of the key things I can ask? And in which manner should I ask? You know, because my first thing when it comes to an offer letter, I look at it. When I look at it, I get my notebook or I get my highlighter, highlight key things within the job, within that advert that I would like to be able to now go into it in details. Then I will send back an email. Kindly clarify for me what you mean by this. And when they, for example, issues of pension or medical cover, maybe they've said they provide medical cover. Do your due diligence. When is the medical cover starting? Is it immediately I accept the offer letter, they start processing for you the medical cover, or is it after probation? When is the pension starting? Is it immediately after signing the contract, the offer letter, accepting it, or at the end of the probation period? So those are some of the key things, and those are creates those now, and you'll start having those. You're demonstrating your professionalism, and that's where you're building your rapport with the employer. Establish a positive relationship with the employer by demonstrating professionalism,
Yeah.
because that is a way you're already like demonstrating your professionalism. You're demonstrating your respect. You're demonstrating your mutual understanding of the concept of the information that has already been relayed to you. Maintain a positive attitude throughout the process until when they want the job, to your job. Approach negotiations with a positive attitude and focus on finding mutual beneficial solutions. Mhm. I've seen someone is saying that my case is when I'm asked to explain myself, I panic and things evaporate or I get nervous. Mamake, do you know what you always say in such kind of meetings when you feel like you're nervous? Be open. Just tell them I'm a little bit nervous, and you'll hear one of the interviewers will be like, "Oh, calm down, don't worry. We are not here to bombard you with so much questions. So relax." And you hear even one asking you, "Can we offer you some water?" Like, calm down. By doing that, they're just breaking the ice so that you relax, you feel like they're part of you, and you continue, you know? So I know it's always a very it's not so easy. Not everyone else will be composed and up to the task. I know nervousness comes in, Then approach negotiations with a very positive attitude. Be very flexible and open to compromise. Always be open and always to compromise. If you find that your benefits surpasses your expectation and the salary that is not to where you wanted, look at it. Maybe from your previous job you didn't have a medical cover. You have a family. You are spending most of your salary taking your family to the hospital. Here you have a medical cover that is taking care of has already taken away the burden of the out of pocket medical fees. Can you compromise it based on that? Okay. So those are some of the things you need to look at and ask yourself if you are in a position to compromise some of the few things in result to that. So that's how we look at it. Okay. Then the other thing is we need to ask ourselves the certain aspects of negotiations are true to your priorities and goals. What are your priorities? Is that job that you're being interviewed for, your priorities? That's your job where you're gonna get, like, you're gonna like be there, or this is a job you just want to learn and get experience as you pursue something else, and then you want to move out? Because at times you might be needing a stepping stone. You learn from there, you work as you go do your evening classes, you're doing something else, you know, gain some experience. Then after that, you have given yourself 3 4 years, I'm out. What is that thing that you need? So those are some of the key things you need to look at and ask yourself. And what are your goals in life? You also need to look at that. In conclusion, I don't want to make this as a very, very, because salary negotiation is supposed to be short and precise. It's not a very long thing to have because you need to compartmentalize everything. Some salary negotiation and benefits are essential aspects of the job search process that require preparation. They require preparation. Prepare yourself. They require communication and flexibility. If you know you've been given a job offer or you're having an interview and you have not prepared yourself, write down a PowerPoint. If you have a laptop, put down a PowerPoint. Go to your mirror, look at yourself and present to yourself. Develop those skills of how to present, how to express yourself, package yourself and present yourself. Prepare. Because when you're doing that preparation, you're trying to become very good verbatim. And also learn to be flexible on some other things that will be crucial to you. I would encourage you to take control of your salary and benefits negotiation. Take ownership of your career and advocate for fair compensation and benefits that reflect your value and contribution. Take ownership and take control, because your future employer might tell you, I will pay you 5,000, because he or she does not know your value. But when they see you're in control and you've expressed your value to them in a manner that they were not expecting, they'll be like, we will get back to you in 3 days. And boom, they're back to you. You'll be surprised, you know? Have that flexibility, okay? To be able also to change some things in the dynamics as they come across. That will be one of the best interviews you'll ever have. And you'll be like, oh wow, what did I do? You know? Will be one of the things they gave you an offer letter of 20,000, you end up having 35,000. Those are some of the key things. And when you leave a place, when you leave an institution, ensure you don't leave that institution in bad books. Whether they have wronged you, whether you feel aggrieved by that institution, do your best to your knowledge. Walk out with your head high. Because when any other institution does due diligence, they have nothing wrong to say about you. You are not fired. You just moved out, said, I want to go have another stepping stone to move out. You can imagine there's someone I've already given the job. The contract is ready, just for the person waiting to be sent to the person to sign. Then we have a team that does the due diligence. When they contact two of the referees, the guy had done a bad thing that is to do in those institutions. The job just slipped like that. Why? Leaving behind bad reputation.
Yeah.
So never leave behind any bad reputation. You need to be moving forward in a positive way. Gilbert, it's still early for the start of the year. We have better things that are coming ahead of you, and you're
Yeah.
destined for greatness. There's nothing that's gonna bring you down. If January passed, February has passed, tell yourself you're still within the first quarter of the year. March gonna be your month, and you're gonna achieve that dream or that goal. You wanna attain it. You're gonna get it. Okay. So I will stop from there. Any questions, please?
You have so many questions. I'll begin with this one. This is interesting. What tone can I use during the interview when I feel the interviewer is asking irrelevant questions?
When the question you find an irrelevant question, a question might be irrelevant because it is repetitive. There's someone using different words to ask the same question that had already been asked. Calm down. Always. That's why we say take control of your interview session.
Yeah.
Don't lose your nerves and don't lose your calm. Pick that question as a learning process and you'll pick it. Like for me, if someone asks me a question that I know it's already answered before and it sounds irrelevant, you just take it like, as I had mentioned earlier on, Nyawira had asked me this question regarding this and that, and this how I said this and that. So I'll put your question in line with what Nyawira had said because it's just one and the same. So the same thing, we do the same question, ABCD. We'll create a framework to establish what are the key objectives of the project, break them down into the nitty-gritties of the activities, and create a matrix on how to track those activities over time, and create a hub where all the knowledge will be shared. And you're done with that. The person, you've answered the person in a very objective manner and a very professional manner. They won't ask another question again because they just feel stupid by themselves.
Question number 2. How do you respond to the question, what are your weaknesses?
Wow. That is one of the very question that everyone tries to avoid because people think by saying their weaknesses, it's like you run away from what there's a word I use. There's a word I normally use because There's a word that I use. Uh, because there's a way you change the word. Is instead of saying weaknesses, you'll be like, oh, I don't really consider what I have like weaknesses, but I always consider them as way areas that I need further improvement. You see, you don't make them to be like weaknesses, you change them. I don't consider them. Yes, I do possess personal traits like a
Mm-hmm.
human does. However, I can't say that these are clear examples of areas that I believe are my weakness, but they're areas for improvement. One area of improvement that I would like to be, I have a tendency to get deeply involved in details of the project.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes some of my colleagues might find me I'm micromanaging them because I want to see the nitty-gritty details of the project. Because I want to see those little things that feed into the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
While my attention to details is important, I've learned that it is equally crucial to maintain perspective and priorities to tasks. You have deflected the aspect of weakness
Yeah.
into an area of improvement, an area of collaborative working, an area of encouraging teamwork. Yeah.
All right. One more question. Can underquoting your salary cause rejection?
Yes, because at times what it shows some of the employers don't want someone who's desperate. They always say someone who's desperate will always be a yes person.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you answer? How do you answer the question? Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I think we had sometime we had done that question. We had answered that question some time back. Eh?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
I would like to hear how one of who has confidence, who can answer that question, come online and answer for us that question before I pick it up myself. Who has confidence? Who has the confidence? I'm seeing someone is being volunteered here. Who is that? The rich boy. Hmm? Who has the confidence? Mamake, Alice Kandie. Let's say, for example, I'm interviewing you for a job to be just like any job, because like, telling me about yourself is not like it's not directly tied to the job. Like I'm creating the base, like I'm creating the baseline to get to know you. So, Alice, kindly tell me about yourself. I'm a helper. Mamake, ngatoka kwa kelele. Okay, sawa. I will pick it up. When some mostly for me, if you ask me the question, there's some noise, Nyawira, for that.
Yes.
This Ule?
Yes. Gidi would love to try Daktari. Oh, he's left. Okay, please take it up.
Yeah. So what is it for me when you ask me, tell me about yourself? I'm like, oh, sure. Thank you so much. I'll be happy to provide some background about myself because as I am a motivated and dedicated individual with the passion for data systems, passion for nature, passion for going out to trails, passion to travel around, passion to meet people, passion to get into conferences so that I can interact and gain knowledge and accumulate knowledge as much as I can. Throughout my academic and professional journey, I have consistently sought out opportunities to learn and grow as an individual and as my professional career is concerned.
Mm.
I have completed my education in Bachelor of Medicine. I've done a master's degree in public health. I've done a master's degree in pharmacogenomics, and just cleared my PhD in tropical medicine from Moy University, North Carolina State University, Maseno University, you name your universities, where I have developed a strong foundation in analytical skills, data inventory, training, developing knowledge management and practice tools, developing monitoring and evaluation frameworks, sharing knowledge skills across various facets so that I've interacted with both in medical and governance structures. Following that, I've gained hands on experience working with multinationals, that's inclusive of World Bank, UNDP, DFID, all the quite a number of UN agencies and governments within Africa and governments outside Africa, where I've had the opportunity to be the program manager, be the director, be the monitoring and evaluation data system specialist, be a KPI for programs. What really drives me is my urge to be able to bring transformation across Africa towards use of data in evidence decision making scenario and trying to bring the change that is required within our communities and our societies. I thrive in environments where I can be able to mentor, empower, and train communities, institutions, governments to be able to bring out the key aspects that will strengthen the contribution of an individual towards making the society a better place. I also want to be a force to be able to help your institution towards meeting its set goals and strategic objectives. I'm always eager to tackle new challenges and expand my skill sets. Outside of my work, I enjoy football, motorcycle tours, adventures, playing chess. I love cooking, you know, hiking. I am confident that my background and experience make me a strong fit for this role. And I believe I will be of value addition to the institution when given the opportunity. And I'm hopeful that I'll be your go to candidate for this position. Thank you.
All right. Meti Wavio says, "Hey, doctor, if the interview is timed, then I feel like your introduction is too long, Yawa. How do
No,
you
it
respond to that?"
depends. It depends because most of the time they'll tell you you have 5 minutes, you have 10 minutes. Like they'll always tell you the time you have, and based on the time you have, you can reduce the amount of information you're giving out.
I think also check the interviewer's faces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but some of them will be encouraged by what you're talking. When you're looking at them and saying they want to listen more about you before even they start asking you questions. And remember, just that introduction alone, it will either reduce the number of questions for you to be asked. They will fall in love with you. They want to gain to know more about you, what you can be able to do. And you will eat into the time of other interviewers, and some of them might not even be interviewed on that day. Yeah.
All right. There's one more query. How should I handle an interviewer who seems impatient and rude?
So the interviewers who are impatient and rude, most of the time, I always look at professional courses or people with the bossy characters. What they want is a precise answers. Those short answers. Someone will ask you, what is your salary range that you need? My salary range is 60 to 80, no further explanation. And you leave it at that. And that's why I always say it's very good for you to look at people's faces to read the mood in the room. It allows you to be in a position to learn what kind of questions you need to respond in, like within extensivity, with a lot of information, or you need to reduce the content that you're passing across.
All right. Judith would like to know, is it okay to ask questions after the interviews? And what examples of questions would you recommend?
It's very, 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 very important to ask questions after interviews. Very, 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 very important. Because that's why I always say, take notes. And when you're taking notes, highlight key areas that you like clarifications. So that after the interview, they'll ask you, do you have something to ask us? Then you say, I would like to seek clarifications on this, and that. And the mostly it's about salary, the response time when they'll get back to you, how soon will they like you to the position to be filled? Okay, and if you can make a follow-up if the time has elapsed of there. Yeah.
I would like you guys to tap because we are hanging. I would like you to tap. Keep tapping. Don't stop tapping. Dr. would you like to take another question?
Go ahead.
Okay. What are your thoughts on job hopping?
Job hopping, it's now the only one disadvantage is on job hopping is comes in when you are not staying for more than a year at your job places. So the employees become reluctant about employing you because you don't stay. Yeah. The employers will start saying, hey, this guy, this employee, no. This candidate, the previous job, he only was there for 3 months, he was there for 6 months, then he moved to another job. So what is the problem? Then you find out the due diligence, they'll start calling like the first like the last 4 jobs that you have been into to find out the reasons as to why. Because at the back of the mind is maybe you're doing something wrong, you're being fired. Yeah. But job hopping is not bad if the contractual jobs. Let's say you have been given a contract for 6 months. Definitely after 6 months, you'll have to move to another job. And that is those are some of the questions that will come out clearly during your interview. A very keen interviewers when they have looked at your CV, they'll see the threshold in between. Like for me, if you look at my CV, some of the jobs, like they overlap. You'll find that I'm doing 4 jobs within almost the same period. So you'll find that I'm doing this job with GFID. At the same period, I have a contract for 2 years with World Bank. You know, within the same time, I'm doing some job for government somewhere.
Yeah.
So those overlaps. So someone will
Yeah.
ask you, how do you manage to do this? And then you're like, these are consultancy jobs. And the consultancy jobs you can do, I can take even 10 jobs within the same period because these are contractual jobs where they have deliverables. Whether I work day and night, I have to ensure I have delivered to my clients. And are my clients satisfied? Yes, because this is a certificate of completion. So there's that aspect in terms of that. So that one, but for permanent jobs, it's very, very risky for you to do too much of job hopping. So you need to ensure at least 1 to 2 years in a job place. That one, most of the employers will be like, yeah, it's okay.
As follow-up to what you just said, you said that you've handled projects
Yeah.
while permanently employed by an organization within the country, or have you had a challenge whereby an employer has been uncomfortable by the fact that you have other projects as well as probably work under them? Have you had such a challenge and how did you navigate this? If you've never, what do you do? How do you make it so easy for you?
No, because you see, for me, I've never had that because I haven't.
Mhm.
It's been quite like after a very long time. This is the time now I'm working permanently and pensionable for an
Right.
institution.
Okay.
Because the rest of the times I'm a consultant, which I'm given a contract for 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
All right.
And my contract I'm given a contract for 2 years, which is renewable after every 2 years. Now, what
Mm-hmm.
happens is like for example, now when the current institution was recruiting me,
Mm-hmm.
they know first of all I'm a country director for Gassoft International Limited, which I'm a shareholder in it. I'm a co-founder and a director at Gassoft Kenya International.
Mm-hmm.
So the key question that came up of that was one:
Mm-hmm.
how, when we give you this job, how
Mm-hmm.
will you manage working for us permanently and while we don't encourage someone else to work for
Mm-hmm.
an institution? It was simple. My company has been running itself, whether I'm there or not. I have people who run the institution. I have other business partners who run the institution. What happens? I resign from the active duty from my company and I sit on the advisory component of the company where I only give advisory monthly or quarterly. So there's no conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But always look at the policy of the institution so that you don't find yourself shooting yourself on the foot because your company does not allow you to moonlight. And if you're doing moonlighting, maybe then you're doing your this basic data analysis and few things, maybe basic things over the weekend when the time is not for the time for the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. There's a question from J Mo. What are the implications of permanent employment to one's career growth?
When you're getting a job, it depends that you are in a position whereby you're growing in career. Like any institution where you are, do they have career growth plan?
Mm-hmm.
You see, that is always the question you need to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you are going to work for, uh, let's say, Britam or
Mm-hmm.
Heritage Life Insurance
Mm-hmm.
as a credit officer,
Mm-hmm.
within that department, do they have a career growth? Because you can grow from a credit officer to the credit manager.
Yeah.
Because your vision is to become an assistant credit manager or even a director within the institution. So, at
Mm-hmm.
what span do you have career, those aspects in terms of promotions? That is something that most of the institutions discuss internally. For us, like I know, like if today I work for this institution for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
I'm eligible to apply for a career for promotion within the institution, and I grow career wise. So what happens is they put you in another position whereby there are people under you that you supervise and oversee. So that is a career growth. So permanent jobs gives you those advantages, added advantages in terms of career growth. While
Mm-hmm.
consultancies basically they're business. That's not a career growth. Those are business. Those are business. That is business. I'm there. Nyawira wants for me to do a HR policy. I do the HR policy, pay me my two mic, pay me my 200,000, pay me my 100, pay me my, like, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. I can see this question has been asked by two people. How do you explain a huge career gap, since that is between, since you, maybe if like 10 years of joblessness, Stacy? She just wants to know, how do you explain that gap? If you've been unemployed for quite a long time, how do you explain that? I so see, what's your name? Cheche has the same question. What would you say,
Yeah,
Dr. Ray?
because I know there's that problem in terms of like after high school, like after campus, you might find Someone did internship, and then the
Mm,
internship, they've been out of the job market for a very long time. But you see, what you need to explain is what is it that you've been doing. There might not be formal employments. There might
mm,
be some things you've been doing, writings, like helping people to write proposals, doing sales,
mm,
doing like what are these jobs that you've been doing? And that's why I always say, those little things that you feel that are less important,
mm,
they're very, very important.
mm,
Because you're not been idle somewhere, no. You have been trying to find a means to an end.
mhm.
Those things, include them in your CV. How irrelevant you think they are,
Yeah.
they speak volume about you.
Mm,
And you put them there and be able to. So when you put those jobs down, they clearly tell. I'll be able to say, yes, he or she was employed as a data analyst or system analyst here, and then he or she was out of work for this period of time. Then picked up after 4 years, picked up a job here, then went out of work for 2 years. And most of the time, you find some of these things are explainable in the sense that I worked for company A, it collapsed. I was
mm,
out of work. I couldn't able to
yeah.
get another job. It took me a very long period to get a job. So what have I been doing? I've been doing small menial jobs to support people within my expertise to do A, B, C, D. Not all those things down that you've been being able to do to help people do. Maybe you've been doing your own, helping creating people start up businesses by creating for them websites. People starting up who wants to start a business by drafting for them business proposals. Not those things down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does age
Mm,
matter? Yes, age matters a lot depending on the position you're applying for. You can
mm,
imagine now a seven. I am 40 something years old. Then I'm going to apply for a junior officer position. Like I go, let's say, for a field interviewer. Yeah. Let's say let me give my age. I'm 48. Then I'm going for a field interviewer's position. The
mm,
supervisor is 22. The supervisor will feel so intimidated to talk to me. And the person
mhm.
who is recruiting you is 27. They will feel
Mm,
so they will feel so embarrassed to recruit you. So they'll tend not to recruit you. But if you are applying for a position that is above that is a little bit senior, let's say a supervisor or a field coordinator,
mm,
you'll be easily employed.
yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you need to look at your age and some of the jobs you're applying for. Some of those people they don't like some of the institutions you find if it's a well-developed institution, then age does not matter. If there's some of the institutions where you know that Gen Z's
Mhm. Mm,
trouble.
yep. Yep. All right. Judith says ways to get NGO jobs even through volunteer. Like, what would you advise?
Volunteership, some of the like I always say volunteership, some of the NGOs have a well-structured way of having those volunteer positions, while some
Mm,
do not have good structures. That's always my biggest problem.
yeah.
Some have a very good structure, while some don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you to try to see what is the best way out of it. Like, how can I move from A to Z, you know?
Yep.
And when you're looking for those volunteerships, try and ask for what are the packages that come with that volunteership. It's just
Mm,
volunteering with nothing, with no pay, because you need to get into it knowing. Because
sorry, guys.
it does not mean because you're volunteering, you don't also have needs.
Mm,
How will you be getting to that workplace? And you know, the institutions literally that they advertise for volunteership. Even we have UN
mm,
volunteers who get paid 70,000.
mm-hmm. Mm,
You know, and those are very competitive jobs for UN volunteers. You know, I think they're published. I think is it April or May every year. So they're very competitive positions. So you need to check the institutions and you learn which kind of these positions are volunteers, where there's volunteership. So you kindly check so that you are in a position to get to know exactly what it is.
All right, Dr. Harry, there's one more question for you. What is the best university to study monitoring and evaluation, or it does not matter? That's
No,
by B. Mungai.
no, it doesn't matter. It's you to develop your skills and practice them. It's you to develop your skills and practice them. It's you to develop your skills and practice them. You can start by online. First of all, just go online and check what are some of those free courses online that for on monitoring and evaluation. Yeah.
I love this question so much. Kindly, is a motivational letter a stroke statement the same as a cover letter?
Yes. It's just words being used to mean different things. Yeah. Like a cover letter is the cover letter, motivational letter, or motivational statement. It is just someone trying to, like, in a one page, market yourself. Why should I employ you? It's like someone, it's the same question. Why do you think you're a better candidate for this position? That's the question. That's exactly what that letter is asking. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Anjao, some courses have M&D in them, but just that is basically an introduction to monitoring and evaluation.
All right. What about if I don't have any experience? Okay. I don't understand Lawrence Gay, but Dr. Ari, kindly, how about if I don't have any experience?
Any
I know that's
experience,
big, but it's okay.
any experience in, okay. Lawrence, kindly retype the question.
Yeah. Then there's a question. Can you have this session again on Sunday? I feel like I have missed a lot. Gamer, just go to YouTube. This Nyawira Giks. This will be posted on YouTube, so you not miss out. Kindly, I need a recommendation letter, please. No worry, get in touch with me on that. You have my number. You can find my number on the bio. How do you filter genuine job offers and fake ones to save time because kuna scam mob out here?
Always just go to the websites of those institutions. Most of the
Yeah.
jobs, if someone says you there's a job advert for Kisumu County, go to Kisumu County's website. The job should be there. Safaricom, the job should be there. Like literally, you will find those jobs there. Yeah.
All right. How should one answer leave a message to a HR? How should one answer leave a message to a HR? Okay. How should one answer? Does it mean how should one's answer leave a message to the HR? I don't know what you mean. Like you call a company and you're told to leave a message to the HR. Sizo, Daktari, do you get what she means?
See, so just I know you have typed that message in a hurry. Redo it. Just type it again. If you
Right.
just graduated, but the job requires experience, if not less than 1 year. Yeah, Lawrence, quite a number of most of the jobs you'll find that some jobs that need bare minimum experience, and you'll find most of the time is like for us, if you find some at times people apply for jobs and you find they don't have experience, they're just graduates. So you'll find that job you won't qualify, but your CV, if your CV was impressive, the head of that unit will look for you. They'll send you an internship application form to apply for an internship position. So it will be upon you if for you to take up the internship position or not. Then you will gain experience for them that internship because that head of that unit liked you. So you know what it means. You do a good job, you'll be put on a temporary employee. You do a good job, you become a permanent employee.
Okay. All right.
A
About
job in
scam
our
job of
A
Sorry.
job without recommendations is a big problem, Alan. A job, applying for a job without recommendations, you can imagine. And remember, there's some jobs you can apply without recommendations because they don't need the recommendations. But the jobs that they have said they want recommendations, you need to brief your referees early enough. Because I've realized some of us, you just put Nyawira's name, you put Dr. Espira's name there, but the last time you spoke with Dr. Espira or Dr. Espira knows what you are doing was 7 years ago.
Mm, mm,
They have no idea what currently who you are, where you are, what you have attained in your life.
yeah.
So you need always to remember, go back and call that professor, go back and call that friend of yours. Mwambie, you know what? I've put you here
Mm-hmm.
as my referee.
Mm,
This is my current CV within the last 7 years since we spoke. This is what I've been doing. Nini nini. Ana atakwambia kitu moja jamani, atakueleza vizuri na akwambie, nenda ukaandike ile barua, nitumie mimi. I will go back and do editing of that letter now to suit my recommendation to your future employer. Because you write it, then I will rework on it. Because at least when you write it, everything comes in as it is. Yeah.
okay. UN Volunteers website. Will I be disadvantaged if I haven't been employed by different NGOs before? All right.
No, 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 no. The UN, if you go online, you register with the UN. Just register, because normally you'll register UN, you'll have your account within the UN. Any job they come, if you apply, you qualify, you'll be called in.
Yeah.
A job that wants testimonials, Mjama. And listen, testimonials, there are two things. The ones that they wanted, that your referees to send them the testimonials, or your future your previous employees will do that. The others whereby they will ask you to provide the recent phone number and work email address of your referees. Like if you give them my email address, they will send to me an email, and I will write a testimonial. Either just I write a testimonial to them directly, or they'll share with me a form that has some things that I need to respond to. Then you will not be copied into it. I will send it to them myself. But normally what we do is when we are sending to them, we BCC the applicant so that he or she is aware of what we have sent to them.
Oh, now Sizu has rephrased. How do you respond to the question, leave a message to the hiring manager?
Leave a question to the hiring manager. Is like it's a punching line.
Leave a
Someone is asking you,
messages.
yes, it's a punching line. Like,
Yes.
what should I remember you of for this position? What should I remember you of for this position? You see, when someone asks you that question, what should I remember you of? I want you to remember me of this position. Like, I want you to remember me on this position because I have acquired all the knowledge and the skills that pertains to this position. After working in the Nestle, KCC, Safaricom, Old Mutual as a customer service manager, I've acquired all the skills and I've been able to meet the clients from different facets. I've been able to meet clients, corporate clients, and I've been able to meet their targets, to meet their needs, and also to provide solutions to their problems. I want to be a value addition to your institution through my skills that I've attained from these 5 institutions and my journey through my career. And I believe when you hire me as the best candidate for this position, I'll bring in the epic and the most best of me to this position. I will add value to the institution and work together with the other my colleagues to ensure that we attain our goals. Thank you.
Mm. Mm.
It is a
Hope you
parting
guys are
shot.
okay.
It is a parting shot.
All right. There's I saying, where and what companies or organizations can I
Check your
volunteer,
network.
please?
Check your network, Cheche. It might be your internet because most of those websites, UN websites work. Check your internet, and if you are using some internet where there's a firewall, might be blocking it.
There's a query from Rebecca. Lastly, could you kindly provide tips for writing a beautiful motivation statement to a UN job?
A motivational statement. Oof, Jesus.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have my CV, and I think my CV has like a motivation statement somewhere because it's
Yeah,
always the opening. It's always the opening part of that CV, if I'm not wrong.
yeah, it is. It is.
And when did I last change it? I can't even remember. I need to work on it because every
Okay.
time I have like different CVs, and I'm just trying to. Who was asked that question?
That
Rebecca.
was it? Yeah, Rebecca. Mm.
Rebecca, let me find my CV. Let me just find my CV because I want to read for you something that is there.
Mhm. Okay.
Where is it?
While you check on that, Gamer says, Nyawira, can you have a session on how to apply for jobs via email? Because I feel like it's a bit challenging. It's okay. We'll plan on this. We'll plan on this. Maybe next week. Next week on Friday, we can have this. Back to you, Daktari.
Mm, for writing a beautiful motivational statement. Okay, Rebecca, the
Mhm.
key thing I will give you for me, that's basic because this I think it's not. There's another one. I know I have so many CVs, but I know if I start looking for them, it will take some time.
Mm.
Like, for first of all, one of the key things you need to do when it comes to writing the motivational statement is it's more of selling yourself out. I'll say, like for me, normally some of the depending on I don't know, I can't remember this TV was for what. Espira is skilled in reading political economy and partnering leaders to deliver their agenda with the win-win outcomes. He works to align political and service delivery leaders in collaborative performance and improvement process. He has hands-on experience in analyzing and automating city performance management and public-private dialogue processes. He has worked on projects for USAID, UNDP, government ministries, private sector, World Bank, UNOPS, and DFID as both manager and consultant. Espira has diverse experience working with other donor agencies and government institutions. He has held various consulting, research, and managerial positions, designing and managing consulting, qualitative and quantitative research assignments. He has practical experience in project and program management in and across African countries, acting a leadership role and providing analysis of both quantitative and qualitative data. He is a strategic thinker who easily networks across stakeholder groups to deliver outstanding impact. You see, only that someone reads that will be like, they want to read more. They want to go
Yeah.
more and dive into your CV to get more information.
Yes. Wow. Wow. I am also wowing. I love that. Whew. All right. Some of the questions you've asked are a bit technical. So I'm trying to figure out if there's any query that I would like Dr. Ali. This entry to how do you go about diploma degree? I don't know. Doc,
The entry level
is
jobs
this?
are it's the same. It's the same, Jama. It's the same. There's
Mm,
nothing about entry level in terms of application. When you're applying it, you just need. I've said one thing. Ensure then like most important thing, you have use the basic English. If you don't need to use big words, use the
Mm-hmm.
basic English in your documents.
Mm-hmm.
Well
Yeah.
written,
Yeah.
proper grammar, nicely written,
Yeah.
well formatted. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
When you do that, you people someone read it and they see, first of all, they see you are neat. You are
Mm-hmm.
very like, someone can say this is a very well planned person, you know. So that is the key thing.
Yeah.
Then ensure you, all those things you feel like that are unnecessary, irrelevant, always include in your CV.
Okay.
I know there are some jobs that I know, like at times when I'm writing my CVs, I forget even I did those jobs
Mm.
because I go back, I'm like, yes, I was doing facility mapping in Luo and Western Nyanza. Then I'm like, shit, this job needs that part. I go back again to the document, start looking which year was it, which month was it, how long was it? Because these are jobs you do, and because you don't use them in your CVs more often, you forget about them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So try and always document then have one CV that has everything of yours. And that one you'll always name it. You just name it general CV. Like it has everything. So when you
Mm-hmm.
want, if you have a laptop and you're writing a CV or customizing another CV, open the two documents, click on that document,
Mm.
press the key, the Windows button key on your laptop. Then those arrows of that show left, right, up, down. Choose the
Mm-hmm.
one showing left or right. Click on, while holding the Windows button, click on the one on the right. It will take that Word document on the right. Then the other Word document,
Mm-hmm.
you will tap on it, it will take it on the left. So you'll have both of the two documents opened vertically on your screen, split into two.
Mm-hmm.
You can see what is here as you customize the other CV, and see what is relevant that you need to put here, copy paste and put it there like that. Customize that CV so that you don't
Mm-hmm.
have the same thing for everything.
Yeah. Mm.
And now ChatGPT is what you feed it. Remember, if
Yeah.
I ask ChatGPT to just give me something from it, for it to go online and pick information online. But if you want it to avoid plagiarism,
Yeah.
feed it the content that you want. You can
Mm.
list it, then ask it to put it into narrative.
Mm.
That way, it won't give you the plagiar, like those the plagiarism words, what things that someone somewhere can be able to say, no, this is content from ChatGPT or some AI program language somewhere.
True. There's a question
Liz,
from Agidza.
you're saying I'm
Daktari was
hungry.
to... No, you're not. You're not hanging. We're tapping. Agidza says you are to give us free online courses sites. Sorry, let me read it up. Daktari was to tell us the sites with free online courses that provide certificates and within the NGO world.
Or the free online, mostly for those ones. There was someone who was asking for, what was it? Remember the UN women, the UN women,
Mhm.
the person who wanted to do a lot of issues around gender equity, gender equality issues,
Yes.
gender courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to UN, the UN women, they have a training portal. They have a training portal.
Mm.
I think let me just open it.
Mhm.
Okay, they have a training portal. Okay, they have a training portal, and all you don't get charged. You don't get charged. Uh, women in gender, women in leadership. There are violence against women and girls. There are quite a number of courses, and you get certificates when you're done. Yeah. These are basically things that will help you, and I like it when people do them because there's a lot of issues around gender issues across the globe. So you can, if you do them, they add, they build your CV and they add some oomph in quite a number of things when you're applying them.
Mm.
Nyawira, I think wewe ndio utaweka online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah. I'll send you the link on your. I'll send you the link so that can be checked.
No worries.
There's another link that I'm trying to find, but the problem is that I don't understand why is it that today it's not. Yesterday and today, I love to send an email to the to that company. I don't understand why it's not functioning completely. I think there
Mm.
must be something wrong because the one that has this what we were discussing, the remote jobs, but I'm not seeing it.
Mm.
Don't understand why
Okay.
it's not bringing jobs for Africa. I need to find out why. It's not bringing jobs
Right.
for the remote job to be done by Africans, people in African country, because when you're logging onto it, it picks your IP address, and the IP address gives you a location where you are.
All right.
Yes,
I
Rebecca,
think
it is reported speech because you report you. When you are doing your reporting, it's more to you are you. It's Rebecca. You report Rebecca's capabilities.
mm, okay. All right. Do you have any other questions? I think I'll hold the questions at that point. Probably ask these questions later. But I think we're done. Any parting shot, Dr.
Who is this husky? Who is this saying, finally, Eubert returned?
Mm-hmm.
Someone has put a rose. Wait, what is your name? You just have a rose. You're becoming a. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If we have uh, the nursing assistant, people who have training or who have a certificate or training in nursing aid or
Mm-hmm.
patient assistant,
Mm-hmm.
the Healthcare Global Cancer Center Kenya. Healthcare Global Cancer Center Kenya
Mm-hmm.
is recruiting, is hiring. They're looking for a nursing assistant qualification and attributes certificate or training in nursing aid or patient assistant, previous
Mm-hmm.
experience volunteering or working in a healthcare setting,
Mm-hmm.
compassionate and empathetic demeanor with a strong desire to help others,
Okay.
excellent communication and interpersonal skills,
Mm-hmm.
ability to work under minimum supervision, willingness to learn and adapt to new tasks and responsibilities, basic computer skills for record keeping and documentation purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Interested candidates should send resume using the job title.
Mm-hmm.
You send your resume using the job title to recruitment at hcgel.com.
Please repeat.
Before recruitment at hcgel.com
Mm-hmm.
before 5th of this month. Nyawi, you have it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the screenshot for you. You have it in your WhatsApp, so you can post for them.
I will.
Mm.
I will. Thank you.
Salsa, karibu sana. It's been some time. Wewe ndio umetoa jina, utaki kutuwekea jina kwa okay.
No, anasema
Mm.
sasa imebaki salsa arudi. Now that you're back, they want salsa
Oh,
back
oh,
as
sasa
well.
imebaki salsa.
Mm. Yes. Um, okay. Jibu
Cheche,
Bat
just
Kemboi.
I'm trying to register, but password isn't going through. What the remedy? Able kindly refresh your page because I think those are some bugs which it keeps on having those issues.
Any other jobs, Doc?
Pat Kemboy, there you can give it your shot. I will say you can give it your shot. I'll say you can give it your shot because these are some of the things I might say I should not say that no because you're in nutrition, you're still in the medical field. So I'll say give it your shot, and if you're compassionate enough, and I think you can, the thing you sell yourself, be able to do that. And for those who have sent me messages in my inbox, I'm sorry, I might not be able to access them. TikTok imenifanyia ile mambo, wameamua kuniambia I can only send my messages I think on end of April I can be able to do the direct messaging. So if anyone wants to contact me, uh, nitafute on WhatsApp. Calling won't help you because that number won't go through. Send a message, just do it, send a message on WhatsApp, 0748 0748 228 163. 0748 228 163. You'll get me on WhatsApp. I don't want to give you the other number. It's my work numbers because those ones at times I will read the message and I won't respond.
That's okay. That
Yeah.
number is okay. Any other jobs?
No, this is just for now. For today, the rest I think is most of these are francophone. Whatever have gotten today from work is basically francophone jobs. So
Okay.
yeah, those are, unless someone here speaks French. If you speak good
Okay.
French, if you speak very bilingual good French is okay. But repeat the number
Don't type the number.
0748. There
Don't
it
type the
is.
number. Yeah, the number
Alana
has been
like
typed, but sorry,
uh,
Doc. Sorry, Doc. The number has been typed, but don't type the number this way. TikTok is going to give us a strike. So don't type the number this way. I was worried when Doc was giving the number because you mentioned it in English. So I usually do English and Swahili in between because of TikTok, but it's fine. It's done, but don't type the number anymore.
oh, they always have that issue.
Yes, emails and numbers. That's since the beginning of
Uh,
2024.
oh,
Previously, we were so easy, but since 2024, oh, yeah, things have changed, but it's fine. It's okay. We are navigating.
yeah, and then I think that is the reason why, because I gave out an email address in my inbox. Maybe that's the reason why they have done that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry about that.
there's
Sorry
a
about that.
probability.
What's the name of the Doc for the nurse aid? What's the name of the organization?
HC
Mm-hmm.
GCCK.
Okay. So,
HCGCCK.
all right. Password isn't going through. I don't know what password.
No, teacher bado anasumbukana na the UN password.
Huu ni smart care vata. So ndio
Si
nimeshangaa ni password
password
gani.
ya nini? Smart cave password gani hiyo?
Yeah. All right, Doc. Tupatie a parting shot. Thank you so much for taking your time being here, bana. We've learned a lot. Hata
Yeah,
sijui
I'm
niseme
hoping
nini.
I'm hoping all these 100 people are following me. It's always amazing, guys. And we believe that what happens in life is we all learn, and learning is a process.
Yeah.
So we'll grow. We'll have. I've seen someone ask me if I can be a mentor to. I don't know. It was a he or her. We'll figure out how we communicate. I'll figure out how to communicate with the person. So tutaona jinsi ya communicate. So it will be easier that way. And see how things move on from there. So that's said and done. So let's be well and keep on moving. And I hope everyone has learned something. I've learned something in the process also. At the end of the day, I always say every day for me is a learning.
Mm.
Despite how
Yeah.
small it is, I learn something and I
Mm.
grow from it. Because I also, even me at work, I get feedback. I get
Yeah.
feedback. I'm given when we do performance appraisals. I'm told you said you're
Mm.
gonna do this. There's something you haven't done here properly.
Yeah.
Kaza nacho kidogo, do further in there. Yeah. So I'm sorry that someone said I'm speaking too much English. You're gonna forgive me. English is my main language. Swahili is a subsidiary.
Yeah.
But although I speak yeah, we are some of those people that we try to speak Swahili, but English is always part of our bodies, and so we because normally most of the time we communicate in English. But I really appreciate nashukuru sana kwa wale ambao wamenipatia muda na masikio na mkakaa chini na mkasikiza kwa makini na
Mm.
utulivu.
Mm.
Asanteni sana. Najua kwanza sasa hivi Kenya ni saa ngapi? Inaelekea saa sita ama saa ngapi?
Saa tano.
So muda umeshayoma kule, giza lishaingia. Wale ambao hawajakula mkaenda mkakule, tushukuru kabisa. Muwe na usiku mzuri sana. Tupatane, tulisema Jumapili. Jumapili tuongelea nini jamani?
Um, Monitoring and evaluation.
That is a very long course. That is a very long course. Jeez.
Shorten it.
We'll figure out something. We'll figure out something. We'll figure out something.
Come with
But
basics.
yeah.
There's a question for you. Quite interesting.
Mhm.
Hata mi nataka kujua. So nitauliza. Doc, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Juu your achievements, wacha tu. Thank you so much. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Wow.
Pia mama kwenye interview.
Eh,
So tuambie.
Lilian, kwani umekuwa HR sasa umeniweka kwa do you wanna employ me? I can be a house manager.
Or mentor.
House manager with no pay. uh in 5 years because my thinking, I think these are some of the things I think Nyawira we discussed back, I think sometime in was it 2022, yeah?
Yeah.
When I was telling you, for me, my main thing was by 2023 was to leave my business to run itself, so that I'm not there managing people on a day-to-day running. And by the end of 2023 was for me to start doing my development of my ranch in Botswana, so that things starts picking up, because in the next 3 years the ranch should be completely done. So in 5 years, give or take, in 6 years from now, I should be like not working at all, like sitting at home, mentor my daughters to be, because in 5 years my big girl will be 18.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, yeah, she'd be around 18, turning 19 there. So I want to see mentor my daughter to be doing things that she loves. I want her not to do the formal education the way I did formal education when now she's getting to 18. I want them to have life skills education. So yes, you're in school, but you're doing practical aspect of schooling, of studies. So I want to change the habits in terms of that. So that in 5 years, I want to see it mentor, be of impact to the society than doing what I'm doing on a day to Monday to Monday. I want to just be somewhere, but I'm putting impact in the society and making things turning towards either health,
Yeah.
governance, policy, legislations across various continents. This not only Africa but across the globe. Yeah.
Good one. Good one. Good one. All right, Doc. I know it's late. Thank you for taking your time. We can't wait to have you back on Sunday. Same time, 9 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to say, do you have anything to say? Ama
No, no.
tumalizie tu hapo.
Mimi nimeshukuru sana.
Mm.
Maslow's of self actualization, it's at it's at A plus plus plus.
Yeah, you've been rated.
Thank you. really appreciate. So we are hopeful that everything moves on. Metrics, I think most of these engineering, I haven't seen you talking about vacancies. We'll check around because most of the things that we have to check around and be able to, yeah, get that.
Okay.
Yes, for me, I only say what I've been. It has been shared with me by one of the former CEOs of the institution. So that is what has been
Mm,
shared with me. So if there are some that I think he saw, maybe they're expiring today. So if
yeah.
you have time, like if they have more positions, kindly check and apply for them. That would be
Yeah.
a very good platform for you because it's a very good, it's a good institution. Basically, they deal with cancer treatment, cancer care,
All
both
right.
diagnosis, treatment, and care.
Mm, yeah. I'm confident somebody got something. We all got to learn something. Salary negotiation has been one of the major challenges, and I keep getting that question every single day. So, in case you missed anything, please head over to YouTube tomorrow under the name Miss Nyawira Giks, okay, on YouTube. Anytime you have an interview, anytime you have an interview, just go to YouTube and search Dr. Eubert's take on salary negotiations. Okay, you'll be able to find this particular session and just listen to it. Anytime you have an interview, just listen to it. Hope it's going to be impactful for you. And thank you so much, Doc, for taking your time.
Karibu
I
sana.
always, yes,
Alvin
I
anauliza wanaweza ni follow up. Alvin, you see the same my name's I, Dr. Eubert Espira. That is my TikTok handle.
mm, yeah. Daktari, kwangu tu nakupenda tu na nashukuru. Yes, keep coming back. We love you.
Thank
And
you.
people love you bana hapa. People love you. People have loved you since the first time you came here. So, yeah, tuendelee pamoja.
Asante sana, nashukuru.
All right. So tuseme mlale salama. Si ndio, mlale vizuri, tuonane kesho around 9. I don't know. Let me not give you time. Either morning session or afternoon session tomorrow. So, jioni njema, everybody.
Okay, good night
Yes.
guys.
Good night. And follow Daktari. Follow Daktari. Follow him ndio Sunday aingie na acha kuingia na audio on Sunday. Tunataka kuona sura. If you haven't followed him, please do. Please do. Daktari, zimebaki ngapi ifike 1,000? Let me check. Let me check. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can see it from here. All right, keep following him. I think he's almost there.
Yeah, it should be somewhere. It should be closer there. It should be closer there. Should
You're
be closer
almost
there.
there.
As I checked during the day, I think it was around 900 and something, 908 or something. So maybe around 80
10
something,
people.
90 something or something, maybe. I
Mm.
don't know. Yeah,
It may be less than 20 people to get you to 1,000.
maybe.
Mm. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you. All right. So, Doc, and everyone else, mulale salama.